You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, sleepyheads. Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV for the Sleepy Hollow After Show. I'm your host, Zach Wilson, and we're going to be talking about Incommunicado, this week's episode of Sleepy Hollow. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, make sure that you're tuning in and subscribing to AfterBuzz TV on all the various platforms. You can do it on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. All these ways you can support us here at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
This week's episode brought to you by Ambien.
No, it needs to be brought to you by, like, caffeine, because I was falling asleep.
That's what I was
Gosh,
saying.
Kyle. Jeez,
Yeah,
Kyle.
Seriously, Kyle.
We talked about this.
Kyle!
Well, before
Stop
we get
going
into...
off on your own and introducing the show, Kyle.
Yes,
We agreed on an indie after show where we all are main hosts.
You can't quit every week, Kyle.
Yeah, stop it. Well, we can't quit
Was I
every
the
week,
only
Matt
one?
Lieberman.
Was I the only one that heard Kyle quitting the band, and all I hear is "Last week, Kyle quit the band. Now he's back together again."
Tenacious D, if
Yeah.
you guys don't know.
Yeah, if my terrible singing didn't dissuade
Well, it was beautiful
you.
singing, Zach. It was beautiful.
But anyway, guys, as I said, Zach Wilson. You can tweet me throughout the week, throughout the show at that Zach Wilson, ThatzachWilson. Jacque Borowski's back.
Hi, 1, 2, 3, Jackie B.
Stephen Lemieux.
Hey, I'm Stephen Lemieux. I'm sitting next to Jacque Borowski's back.
My
Bad
back.
joke.
Sure.
Bad joke.
Sure.
Follow me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, guys.
I'm
all
back.
right.
Wasn't I here last week?
You're back.
You're back, but you're back from last week.
You're
Like,
back.
Oh,
You're
yes.
back from your weekend
Yes.
to talk about Sleepy Hollow.
Not like you were gone. But anyway, it's time to talk Sleepy Hollow. I'm not feeling great about this week's episode, guys. Like, I'm just gonna be straight up. This episode put me to sleep. It was
not
super
good.
slow.
It's not good.
How did you guys feel about it?
I thought it was one of the best of the season.
No, you are a liar face. Before we came in here, you said it was boring.
Don't
but
be
you
like Pandora,
You
Steven.
guys are being negative, so I have to be the positive one. I'm going to do everything in my power to try to find something positive in this episode.
No.
There were positive
All right,
things,
let's
but I
start
don't.
with the positives then.
Yeah,
what
there-
did you guys feel was good? What were the good things that you could pick out of this episode?
I feel
Kyle.
He was really good at guitar. He was great.
Kyle just wants to shred. I don't understand why they can't just let Kyle shred. Even if it brings on banshees.
Even if it brings on banshees and they fulfill the trope of certain people dying first. So
They all died.
yeah, they all
Yeah,
died.
they all
fair.
died.
They were, they didn't like the scream metal that the Banshee brought on. I like that we got some new stuff to theorize with. The fact that the witnesses are bloodline. I think
Yes.
that's really cool. I think
important.
the fact that we get what the symbol is, because as much as that was like a piece of bronze that is apparently gone now, at least we know what it is, and we can look at what Thora could be and like how that'll play into things in the last two episodes of the show. The Hidden One is revealed that Pandora is the reason that he was captured away in the first place. So, I mean, we get bits and pieces of information there. It just... the execution at which we received this information was just so weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of the character. My main thing with this episode was that the characters were felt like they were behaving out of character. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I felt like people
I
weren't
didn't
acting.
even feel like that. I just felt like aside from getting like one or two pieces of information that I feel could have been put into a more dynamic plot.
Yeah.
And you had all of the elements for a dynamic plot. It's just that I don't know if it was spread too thin or too rushed. There are certain things that I would have liked to explore the Banshee more and actually have them succeed in capturing the Banshee and bring her back. Because I thought it was bring her back with them to work with Pandora, because I thought that was such a cool character, and I love the fact that it's like she screams so much that she made everybody silent.
Yeah.
I liked that effect.
Yeah, it was interesting. There was some cool stuff, and we're gonna talk about the Banshee. We're gonna talk about we've already talked about Kyle and the band, but we're gonna talk about the hidden one, Ichabod, all that stuff. We're gonna cover. Before we do, I want to just give some condolences out. One of our regular listeners, Boo69Bs, unfortunately lost a family member.
Oh, geez.
This week, and so I want to just pass along my condolences. I know you're a big fan of AfterBuzz, and we
We're very sorry.
we really love our fans. We appreciate that you are a regular, and so I hope all of our best wishes to you and yours.
Exactly. Yes. That's so sad.
But
All
yeah,
right.
all right.
So I want to just start off by saying, and kind of prefacing that this felt like 2 episodes rushed into one.
Yes.
I felt like they tried to do the Monster of the Week thing while having such a huge storyline that could have done 2 episodes, which if they had really just thought about it and been a little bit more clever with the writing, you could have had a really, really cool dynamic between the Banshee's ability to take away sound, things being said that need to be heard, the hidden one being locked away with Ichabod, taking 20 minutes and going from let's throw Ichabod into a wall and be here to kill him to I'm not going to touch Ichabod, I'm actually going to help Ichabod, and then I'm going to be very kind to the witnesses and give them information about their past and just be nice God. Like it
was really weird.
There was no hostility between the hidden one.
That was what threw me off. Is like he came in there very much like, hey, I'm going to murder you.
Yeah.
And the only question is how painful and quick it's going to be. Those are the only variables, but you're dying right now. And then what happens next is he gets trapped in the room because of the Emblem of Thora, which I'm glad the thing has a name now.
Right.
That's great.
Yes.
But that's the only thing that changed. And the hidden one is convinced that he's going to get out of that room, right?
Yes.
He never seems to doubt it.
No, he doesn't seem to doubt it.
Yeah.
He just seems to think that he's going to get out of the room and then Ichabod's going to die. And it just seems so weird because if he has all this power and he came here to kill Ichabod, why wouldn't he just do that and then continue upon his business even if he's trapped in the room?
Well, I understand what they were going for in the fact that he's a god and it's below him to just pick off people. Like, he can deal with Ichabod later. He's got more pressing things before the seal completely seals him in here. I get that. I understand that he looks down on Ichabod and he feels like he's being just a god being like, oh, you want your mind blown? Here's some information. Now you can feel like the alone boy that I'll make up a story that apparently is true that we've never heard about Ichabod's childhood before, but okay, let me just write this as canon a little bit. But let me just say, he has the biggest freaking case of ADD, and they completely ignore the fact that, okay, I'm the hidden one. I'm going to teleport away dramatically at the end of last episode, only to come after Ichabod, try to kill him, get trapped. What is the one thing I want to do after I get untrapped? I'm going to go kill the freaking witnesses. Pandora got her box back, all right? That sounds like
she got the box top.
It's like a Tyler Perry movie, how Pandora got her box back.
She got one box top. She's going to turn it into General Mills for a free Frisbee.
Oh my God, and Mills even works. But the problem is okay, I'm the hidden one. My mission is, okay, these witnesses have screwed me over so much that I'm going to kill them. Okay, I'm trapped in here. Great, I'm freed from here. Pandora has her whole box. I get this information that Pandora screwed me over. Fine, whatever. Let me just go ahead and kill the witnesses real quick, and then I'll deal with Pandora. But no, he's like, I'm going to go deal with Pandora, but very subtly, and obviously not right off the bat. But shouldn't he be super happy that this whole tool that sealed him away is completely gone now? Like, it's gone. There's nothing that can stop him anymore. Now it's time to just destroy everything, but he's still going to leave the witnesses out there because he's mad at Pandora. What? Kill Ichabod and kill Abby. Get dark with it.
Do you feel better now, Stephen?
I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to let you.
You should be impassioned. You should be impassioned.
No, and that's the thing. It's like nothing that you said is wrong. Like that's part of why I left this episode and I was unsatisfied because
I think another. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel as passionate as Stephen does. But I think for me, part of the problem is there were plot lines that were being set up this season that I was really excited about. I was really excited to see like what kind of conspiracy was going on with the FBI, perhaps because we know they killed Nevins or whoever that guy that Reynolds has been reporting to.
Yeah.
Whether or not
there's cool
they haven't
conspiracy
mentioned
stuff.
Abby's dad or
that
Jen's
was the
dad.
other one.
Like what? Like we just opened up this stuff and then got rid.
There's really cool things going on in Sleepy Hollow right now because of with the conspiracy around Nevins and the FBI. What is Reynolds up to? Reynolds knows more than he's telling us. I want to know what it is.
That to me seems I think we're so underwhelmed by the hidden one. And the Abby's dad is an open plot line, or the FBI conspiracy is an open plot line, seem way more interesting than anything the hidden one has done thus far.
Well, here's the difference, and so one of the things that I did like in this episode was there's some mythology building, some mythos work in that they reveal that the witnesses it's passed down.
Yeah, I like that.
Which we called it.
Yeah,
I
we
believe.
did. Yeah, we did.
So kudos to us.
We did.
No kudos to you guys.
No,
Just not letting you have it.
but I wanted kudos.
No.
You can have a kudos, Zach.
Thank
you
you,
can
Jackie.
have it.
I appreciate that. But because that implies something a lot bigger. My first thought was, sorry, Jackie, but what would all the Ichabod shippers do if it turned out they were related?
No, they are not related.
Oh my God.
They are not related. We have established that.
Just stop.
I mean, hey, they both are genetically like descendant from witness stock.
Yeah,
if you
but
will.
it's separate. It's like we know that Grace Dixon is Abby's. We already know like the lineage, so we already know that Grace Dixon is Abby's ancestor, who was probably a witness in her own time, which is fascinating because then that means we can bring back a character that I feel like most of the fans really like, And I think that was another thing that was missing from this episode was the kind of. Aside from that reference, we don't have any real historical tie-ins. And I think that is a big reason why a lot of people watch this show as well, because it spans these different time periods. Mm-hmm. And we didn't really have any a lot of backup mythos in this.
Yeah, well they what Sleepy Hollow normally does, and what a lot of fans and what we usually really enjoy, is those trips into the past.
Yes.
But what this episode did is it gave us information.
Or even some sort of connection to something else that is part of the bigger picture, aside from just, you're part of a lineage.
But that's the thing, it's we're used to seeing these things, we get to go back and we get to see some fun history moments and characters that we know from studying history. And instead, we got Ichabod's backstory just sort of handed to us out loud, in a monologue. Mm-hmm. And that's dull. We don't want to listen to somebody tell us what Ichabod's backstory is. We want to watch it unfold. We want to see where it's important and who was it that influenced him as a child? What were the books and why was he doing it by hand? Just telling us about all that isn't dramatic. I want to see him having to sneak around his family because they're telling him not to read these books or it's going to get him in trouble with the church. That's an interesting story for Ichabod. And it's not that that's completely out of what we knew, but it's cool details, and there's no reason not in our show that does constant flashbacks to do a flashback.
I just want to put this out there. I don't even mind that. I'm fine with giving us character history through dialogue. I have no problem with that because honestly, if they were going to work that in, we'd probably find some way to be that wasn't natural. I think this was fine. The thing is it's like a case of Dr. Evil and Seth Green, where it's you put him in a room. Why don't you just go put a bullet in his head? He'll never. Just go put a bullet in his head.
Yeah, and that's
the problem I have is that instead of revealing the symbol of Thuros, right? Thuro was the name.
It was Thora.
Thora, right? Instead of revealing that and revealing that you have something that splits in two that can prevent the hidden one from killing the witnesses, which is great. You have a god that can literally go and kill your two main characters. Okay, what is the only way that they won't die? Well, you take that god and let him have the power to kill anyone, but he can't kill those two people because they have protection.
And then you destroy the protection at the end of the episode, which is another, like, I know we've been mad about this all along because they introduce these cool things and then destroy them. And this was another instance of that.
But I just would have seen...
You brought up this cool emblem of Thora that could protect our witnesses, and then you destroy it after giving it a backstory.
The Hidden One could have gone all-out war. We could have gotten great stuff with the Hidden One going after Joe, going after Jenny, because they can only protect 2 people. You could have had Ichabod and Abby giving the emblem to different people to protect them. You could have strategy while fighting the Hidden One.
Yeah. What I would have liked, like, if you're gonna do this bottle episode for Ichabod and the Hidden One, if you really want to stick them in a room together, because there's a lot of interesting drama that can come from putting your main villain and your hero in the same room together and they can't leave. There's a lot you could do with that, but we can't help but think, like, why isn't he killing him? Just all you would have to do is take the emblem, and it activating like that forces him, like, into locks him in, like, physically locks him into somewhere. So where, like, he's in there, they both want to get out. So Ichabod, like, give Ichabod a reason to need to get out. Maybe put Abby in danger. And so he's trying to get out, but, like, they can't quite communicate, maybe, and that's why they have to use the emblem. So they're both trying to break the spell, having to side with their enemy to do it, and having to sacrifice things because of that. Having that dilemma of, if I get out of I almost wanted Ichabod to not be trying to get out.
Yeah, to want to keep him there, because if he gets out, he's going to kill Abby. Like, that's the suspense we need.
That's what Ichabod, to me, that's what Ichabod would have done. Like, as I know him, is, hey, this guy's trying to blow up the world. If I don't do anything and I just stay here and sacrifice myself,
he's locked in here forever.
Will never get out, and the world will be a safer place. And he even says he's not afraid to die.
But we already discovered that the world will not be safe because if the Hidden One keeps pouring his power into it, it's going to destroy the barrier and also Maelstrom as well. So we did learn that. That's what Pandora was afraid of, saying it's going to destroy the Hidden One and the world if he keeps pouring his power into it.
Okay.
I do want to throw something out here on a positive side, because everyone in the chat hates me for saying this, for being negative. But
you're allowed to have an opinion.
I'm going to say hypothetically, to give us hope, is that it's not that the symbol was that bronze thing. It's just the symbol itself.
That would be nice.
So let's
nice.
say they can forge something, or necklaces, or just wear something that has the symbol on it to keep the Hidden One at bay.
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
I would actually like that to happen because symbols and names have meaning, and meaning means power. So I would like for that to turn out to be.
That would be a great, like, symbolic layered thing to do, and I think it could be really cool. And I think Sleepy Hollow absolutely does things like this. Is like, the power of a symbol in the real world is enormous.
Right.
So physically, when you put a symbol on something, for it to give mystical power as well, is a really cool way to play with that, with an analogy towards the real world. And, like, what the power you give something is the power that it has.
I mean, we had these parallel storylines because we had Ichabod working with the Hidden One to try and break out. And while I realized that the symbol was, like, protecting Ichabod from dying, at the same time, it seemed like Ichabod makes this great, like, "Oh, Captain, my Captain" speech about, like, art and literature. And you're like, this is really beautiful, but I'm not sure, like, it would have any effect on the Hidden One whatsoever, or, like, what the purpose or means of this interaction and this conversation actually is. It just seemed, that whole interaction did not seem to, like, fuel any sort of, like, plot line or understanding or storyline. Whereas when you look at the Abby and Pandora storyline, you have them kind of seeing each other in a different light, and they're very, like, they do this thing where you're like, I now understand that I can now see where Pandora would see that whole team differently from working with them,
yeah,
and how Abby sees Pandora differently from working with her. I can totally see that from the way they were interacting. And so I think that...
100%. Because I think that it's going to make Pandora a lot more sympathetic to the witnesses, because now she realizes they're not out to destroy them. Like, these are good people that are just trying to protect the people they love. And Pandora, I think, is very much knows what that feels like, because she's been trying to protect the hidden one for all these years. She knows what it's like to care for someone.
And Abby learns that Pandora gave the symbols to the humans in the first place. So Pandora has a sympathy, even though now, like, I think she started out as human. I think that's how we established this.
She was mortal.
Yeah, she started out as human, and so she still has this kind of affection for them in the way that she gave them that symbol to begin with.
Well, Ichabod goes into this as well, that a prophet or a god is not a god without worshippers.
That's
and
true.
A worshiper
I don't understand why you're trying to destroy the world if you acknowledge that.
So a worshiper has nothing to worship if there's no god. So basically the witnesses sealed away the god, we're assuming, or just the humans in general sealed away the god. But in order to get worshippers, the Hidden One or Pandora gave them a linchpin, which was the seal of Thora, that if the Emblem of Thora, to have the power to go against the Hidden One. But she didn't do that to try to make them go against him. She did that to say, trust him as your god and worship him, for he will be merciful if you worship him. But they went against him and did that, so now he's going to be merciless instead of merciful.
Yeah,
I also have to point out that this library that they have with all these books and all this information that they have is everything that they've been using to fight the Hidden One. And now the Hidden One knows everything that they know to fight him with.
True.
And he also literally could have just lit everything on there and on fire and been like, by the way, witness, I know everything you could have known, and now I'm going to destroy it all. And lights it on fire. But we have
established that the Hidden One does not like to read.
He just likes to absorb things.
Yes.
He's like a computer.
Hey, yes.
Kid, I'm a computer.
I did like that effect, though.
Yeah.
The special effect of, like, him reading everything. Like, there you could see, like, I think I saw, like, E = MC squared at one point.
It was like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover, where he's, like, trying to count cards with the things in front of him. I don't know. It was cool. It just felt like... I felt like the Hidden One should have destroyed that whole place. Like, he should have just burned everything. It's like, you want to fight me? Well, try fighting me now, because I'm going to destroy it just like you destroyed Jefferson's Palace of Knowledge.
Jefferson's Palace of... I miss Jefferson's
We're still
Palace.
bitter about Jefferson's Palace of Knowledge.
We do. Look,
We're still very bitter about
we at
that.
AfterBuzz do not let things go easily. I don't know if you if you could see that.
Hey, if that could have been important to the witnesses, it still makes us very bitter that they destroyed it.
It's like, you destroyed my wife's box. Now I'm going to destroy your Palace of Knowledge.
And that was the other thing. It's like, I feel like the writers are just now searching for box euphemism jokes, because the whole episode seemed like that to me.
Put the box together.
She's like, I need to put my box together. I can't find my box. My box has disappeared.
My box was intact.
I know.
And then I met the Hidden One.
Why did Joe Corbin need to be shirtless when they turned him into a Wendigo?
I laughed so hard, because I was like, okay, if he's getting naked, maybe that makes sense because he doesn't want to tear his clothes. No, he just got shirtless and had his pants on.
He got that shirt at I don't know, like Tommy Bahama. Those are $100 t-shirts.
But the pants are Kmart, so he left them.
Pandora's like, Jenny, can you rub the holy oil all over his body for this sanctimonious thing?
Pandora's like,
this is really just like,
rub it on the dark
we need to
creature.
have another shirtless guy in this scene.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's part of...
I think that also made me mad, because I love the special effects for the Wendigo Joe, and I love the fact that we have enough of a connection between Jenny that she can kind of bring the human out of Wendigo Joe. I don't like the idea of completely destroying that plot line, because it gave Joe another dimension to his character.
Why did they have to take away the Wendigo power?
Yeah, it was really annoying.
Again, you've introduced something interesting.
I know you're about to say.
Okay.
I know you're about to say you've introduced something and then taken away.
All right, no.
I'm gonna let you finish.
No, Steven, go ahead.
I want to go out on a limb here with the writers and side with them that they wouldn't completely take it away, because what they did was they took away the darkness. I don't know if you can technically take away something that's part of your being. So perhaps all they've done is taken away his inability to control it.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
But like, I see if they're doing that, why not just do it in this episode? Like, why not just give it to us? Like, there's no reason to wait on it. No reason to stall if that's where you're going. There's only 3 episodes left in this season.
I thought there was 2.
No, there's 3.
Oh, there's 3. You're right.
It's because in the previews they say 2 more until the finale, so it makes you super confused.
Confusing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love having Wendigo around.
Wendigo Joe.
Wendigo is it's just more fun to say.
Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Where did you come from?
Wendigo
Joe.
But I think it also,
yeah.
if you have a team that's fighting supernatural powers, it helps to have, we have the witnesses who we know have supernatural powers. It helps to have another like monster or beast or something else that you can have as your power to fight against these forces of darkness.
It gives the team a different dynamic as it goes forward. And I know people get sick of the Buffy comparison. It's just it's a useful tool because I think a lot of people that watch Sleepy Hollow have also seen it. So that's why I say. But what on Buffy, as they got further into like other like later seasons, they added things like they had a witch on the team. They had a werewolf on the team. They had people that gave the team different dynamics and different perspectives on what it is. Because when you're fighting a monster and you have a monster on the team, like somebody who your enemy could classify as a dark creature, that's a interesting dynamic because it makes you have to reconsider all of these creatures and what their backstory is. Do you want to kill all of them? Because they might not be totally evil. They could be Joe, who's just lost his way.
I was shipping Sophia and the Banshee. That was Kyle and the Banshee too. That's a great name for a band, Kyle and the Banshee.
Kyle and the Banshee. That Banshee, I did think, of course, like one of the things Sleepy Hollow is really good at is his creature effects, and I thought again the Banshee was like an awesome creature effect.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, look, whatever we have to say about like maybe like plotlines didn't go the way we expected or wanted, the creature design on this show is always on fleek.
Why did they need... Stop saying on fleek. I hate you so much right now. Why did they need...
I want to catch you guys off guard.
It's like, make sure you use true iron. Not the new iron, just true iron. 200-year-old iron. Like, why do you need it to be 200 years old?
Yeah, I can understand the line. I can understand having the line, it has to be pure iron, because that's like, I get that.
Yeah.
But like, aged iron?
I think it was just people wanted to have in some effect where Jenny steals something from a graveyard, and like that's a cheap shot.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cheap shot to be like, okay, well, to justify Jenny stealing from a graveyard, they keep wanting our team to be like associated with petty crime in certain ways to make them, I don't know, more
rebels.
Yeah,
rebels.
Rebellious, and you don't even need that. It's like,
Can I just...
They're already driving an ambulance that they shouldn't be, even though we've established that, yes, Joe works as an EMT. He's driving the ambulance when he shouldn't be driving it in the first place anyway.
And he gets the windshield
in that
messed
way,
up.
yeah, when you think about it, you're like, that's already being rebellious. It's like
Rebel.
using this for your own purposes.
Two observations about the hidden one. He is hashtag the new Katrina.
He is the new Katrina.
He's the new Katrina, that he has
new Katrina.
all this power
And
apparently and just will not do anything with it.
And the new Henry Jeremy.
And he also might be a character from Street Fighter.
How so?
Can you explain yourself on that one?
Hashtag hidden one Hadouken.
Oh, okay.
Like, he literally did a Hadouken. He's like, Hadouken! And it, like, shot towards it. But, like, it was pretty cool.
I thought of it as a mini Kamehameha. But I guess it wasn't a wave, so he was just a ball.
Yeah.
It was an energy blast.
It was a Hadouken. Pretty sure.
All right. That's fair.
All right.
I think the only other thing that, I don't know, I was kind of struggling with is you have Abby struggling with this, calling out Pandora for wanting to get the pieces of the box together to get her part of the plan, to like get the Wendigo out of Joe, et cetera, which Abby keeps thinking she's going to con her, and rightfully so. And then you have Pandora kind of undermining the hidden one, but then going back to him again and letting him treat her like crap, that it's getting old to me. It's getting old.
So let's talk about how we ended it. Like, so the Hidden One knows that she was lying about the emblem,
right? Because we had that spy bubble thing that Ichabod can do, which I also am gonna miss that scene as well, because we had that cute moment with the pastries in the beginning where he's like, I know which pastry you had because I've been spying on you.
What else did you see, Ichabod?
Yeah.
Did you see Pandora's box?
Oh, Jesus. But I love that there's this connection, there's this way for them to connect with each other, so you can have them doing different things at different times and then having this like supernatural call out almost.
Yeah. And yeah, while we finish talking about this Steve in the booth, if you could pull up the Downton Abbey theme song for us.
Oh, are we doing that today?
Of course we are. There's so much scandalous stuff going on in this episode. So yeah, okay. But yeah, so no, not now. I'll call for it.
I do have to say, somebody in the chat said that the Hidden One has no hair, and Cadet Tip K says, maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
The Hidden One's eyes turned from red to green, though. I did notice that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't catch.
No,
when he got mad.
Yeah, because when he wasn't stuck in that room with Ichabod, he had red eyes, and then in the end scene with Pandora, he had green eyes.
Oh.
I did notice that.
Yeah, I do remember the rage eyes. I didn't notice the green.
It's all Christmas.
That's
actually
it. Like the Hidden One is the spirit of Christmas future. He's warn
Krampus.
you. He's Krampus. Oh man, I would love to for Sleepy Hollow to do a Krampus episode.
Yes.
Like Grimm did it a few seasons ago, and it was so good. Krampus is just such a fun story to play with, and like Sleepy Hollow would find an interesting way to do that within this world.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. That would be fun. But I'm sort of looking forward to the fallout of the Hidden One in Pandora. Like what is he going to do to her now that he knows? He didn't straight up call her out on it, so he's gonna play this. He's gonna play a long game with this. He's gonna hold it over. He's gonna
be more of an abusive boyfriend.
I think he's gonna end up sacrificing or trying to sacrifice her to get the witnesses, to get our team. Like,
I just want to hope that this means that Pandora too is playing a long game, and I would like it better if the dynamic between both of them was a long con, and you find out that there's like all kinds of like double traitorness.
Yeah,
I know that's not really a word, but it's
yeah.
the best I could come up
well,
with. I would like that to happen, because right now it just seems like the old storyline where you keep throwing them back together, and I actually liked seeing Pandora with our team. I liked her working with them, and that level of mistrust that caused kind of a rift between them.
That was interesting. Like, I want to see more
really
of that. I really would love to get Pandora, like, maybe not on our side necessarily, but on our team, like, for a little bit more.
I think she'll give them her power.
Interesting.
The power for bots.
No, but just like the Hidden One bestowed her power, like, she can give up the last of her power to the witnesses to fight against his power.
Interesting. And then it becomes like an actual showdown between them and the Hidden One. Because right now they are still just mortals with like a little bit of extra like
oomph.
It's almost like the power witnesses have is almost just like a luck ability. Like they just like the probability of a critical. They have like a heightened like probability of critical strike.
They have the power of writers writing for them.
Yeah, but we shouldn't feel like that. And that's unfortunately what it did feel like in this episode. Do you guys have anything else? Any other points you loved, liked, or
to
want
move
to talk
on
about?
to that? It's like another thing that I always wish they would explore more is they have these tablets, they have this symbol, and we still don't know how, other than the fact that we got the information that the witness is a bloodline, we still don't know how the witness, like, what exactly their powers are, how they play into the general thing of things. And if you made this your central mythology, you think you would examine it more, or you would give us more clues or give us more like cool powers or something. I feel like we're not, whereas past seasons really delved into the mythology of the witnesses and what it means for the apocalypse, it just doesn't, they're not doing that this season.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think we gotta go for a little stroll, you guys, into the parlor, or the what would you call it? Yeah, it's time to go to Sleepington Abbey. This week on Sleepington Abbey, there was much foulness afoot as Ichabod became trapped in a small room with his most hated enemy.
And because nothing happened, it was most scandalous.
Most scandalous indeed.
I also heard that it was all Pandora's fault that the humans were able to get the what is it? Now I forget. The Emblem of Thora. And that was most scandalous.
I'm gonna be pretty honest here. Last time I touched Pandora's box, it turned me into a monster as well.
Who keeps inviting Holly to the party?
Nobody.
Whoever it is will find themselves on the end of a pitchfork.
They will be shunned.
Because this kind of invitation to my party is most scandalous.
Most scandalous indeed.
I gotta say, you talked about me being locked in a room with Ichabod, and I don't think that happened.
You do not get invited to the box party. Shunned.
Let's keep the music going.
Yeah, we're done.
No, this whole thing is most scandalous.
It's most scandalous.
I'm looking forward to a more productive trip down Sleepington Abbey way.
I heard the Hidden One went to knock out some chores and ended up doing nothing that was on his list of chores to do for the day, including killing 2 people.
Most scandalous.
What a terrible villain.
I heard that Miss Pandora was hiding the Emblem of Thora in her box from her boyfriend all these years.
Most contraceptually scandalous.
Most scandalous indeed.
All right, I can't do it anymore. I can't deal with it.
And that is it for this edition of Sleepington Abbey.
We've done this so many times, and I still hate it. Like, I still just... it's like the hardest thing to, do. We should be planning these things beforehand so we're actually funny and not look like idiots.
Well, we could always make up some fan fiction. Like last
Purgatory Prom?
Purgatory Prom. All right.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Predictions?
Yeah. Well, first I want to do a bit of news, just real quick. Not anything huge. I just want to do a ratings check.
Yeah, it's not doing well.
Well, that's the thing is it's actually holding steady.
Oh, that's good.
It's at this past episode. The thing is, it's hard to say it's doing bad in this landscape right now because it's they put it on a Friday.
Yeah.
Which is never great. But it's managed to maintain at 2.8 million just this week on live.
That's actually really good.
That's actually surprisingly, but it's only a 0.8 rating. The percentage is really bad, but it's got a good decent number of people watching. So that for me would put it on the bubble for Fox. I think it really is going to come down to. And people have said that that Fox would have told Sleepy Hollow. I don't buy it. I don't trust Fox with my pickups and cancellations or being honest about them. But I think it's got a shot.
I do too.
At this point, I think it's going to come down to what Fox has on the pilot slate, and if they have a bunch of really good stuff in the genre, then Sleepy Hollow may find itself on the outs. But if they don't have anything they think can replace it, can replace that, heavy genre fantasy vibe, Lucifer has it. But if Lucifer doesn't stick around, then they're going to need to keep that spot.
I actually really enjoy Lucifer.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't know where Lucifer's ratings are or anything.
I haven't looked into it.
No, I haven't seen what their numbers are. But if they don't keep a slew of those shows, they're gonna want to have the fantasy element on the network.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's do predictions because we also got to talk about this preview. So let's hit that prediction button.
We have 1,012 minutes left?
No.
Yes, we have 1,012 minutes.
Now, Your AfterBuzz.
Okay, so guys, we saw Frankenstein. Hypothetically, I'm gonna throw something different your way.
All right.
All right. Let me just get in a character here. No. I think it's Abraham.
Von Brunt?
So
I can see that.
I think
what
the
we
skull-
saw was the skull of clearly the skull of Frankenstein on a colonial era body.
with
It
a
didn't-
red coat.
Was it red?
I thought it was red.
I thought it was blue.
I thought it was
It
red.
might have been blue. It doesn't
He's
matter.
colorblind.
Yeah, I'm totally like at
I'm
loss
not-
for.
I-
But
I'm not-
I did think it was red.
I'm not great either, so
But I think it's. I think the showrunner said in an interview earlier in the season, the Headless Horseman's not coming back. They never said anything about Abraham not coming back. So I think to reintroduce Abraham as because he's not headless, he'd have a head.
I would love Abraham von Brunt to come back because
I would like that too.
here's the big thing that's different. That's the problem with the Hidden One is that he doesn't have any ties to our heroes, and
or any that we can see thus far.
because
Yeah.
I mean, if there is something they've been hiding from us, why?
Right.
Because what made Headless such a great villain is that
Ichabod created him.
Yeah, Ichabod.
Yeah.
They were tied together.
Yeah.
Their fates were entwined. Like whatever you want to say about Katrina, the fact that she was a center point that made their fight that was about the fate of the world, but also was somehow also about something as simple as romance. It was small and big at the same time, and that's what we're missing the small.
Well, you've had the tragic romance between Abraham and Katrina, and it can kind of coincide with the Hidden One in Pandora, which would leave some.
But there's no
Romance
tie
aside,
to our team.
Romance aside, I think there's always something very compelling about a villain that you created. And that is what was compelling when Kindred came back. It was the fact that we created this monster and we're supposed to be the good guys. And it's the same thing with Ichabod's actions caused Abraham von Brunt to be so upset that caused this chain reaction where he's now a major villain. And I always find that fascinating.
Somebody said it can't.
No one wants their villains to come out of nowhere.
Somebody said that if season 1 said if he regained his head, the 4 horsemen would ride. So what if?
Great.
Yeah. Why don't we get the 4 horsemen who are trying to
horsemen.
bring the apocalypse versus the Hidden One who's bringing his own apocalypse?
That was one of the things that first got me into Sleepy Hollow in a big way was when I heard like, oh my God, the Headless Horseman is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That's the coolest thing ever. Like that's what I wanted. Like I was looking forward to 4 horsemen riding in to like Westchester, New York, and one of them is missing a head. I never got that image, and I was dying for it in seasons 1 and 2, and they never paid it off. They built it, again. It's one of the things that has frustrated me about Sleepy Hollow. As much as they've done a lot of good things, they've set up things that are even better, and then just not.
And then just abandon them.
I just feel like right now, it's too much like Sleepy Hollow is the gates to whatever. It's like the pearly gates, right? So you just have a line of people waiting to get in. It's like, oh, no, only admitting one. Only one baddie at a time. Like, open the gate, Sleepy Hollow. I thought that's what we were going to get. I thought...
What a Monster Con!
Yeah, what's going on? Like, there should not be, like, one thing happening. It should not be just Ichabod versus the Hidden One, or Ichabod and Abby. It should be so many different things. Like House of Cards this season. It was good and it was bad, but there were so many different things playing at the same time, which made you think a lot. That's what I want this show to be.
And it's what the show can be. That's the thing. As much as we have ragged on this episode, we only do it out of love.
We know it can do better.
We do it because we care about the show, we enjoy the show, and we know it can be better because it has been. We know it can get back there, and we're looking forward to it getting there. And I think that it will if we give it time and everything gets done right. So as we look forward to next week's episode, 3 weeks left, guys. Not too much, but until next week, Stephen Lemieux.
You guys follow me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHENLEMIUX, and go ahead and check out our other network that I produce for the Popcorn Talk Network for all your movie discussion needs at the Popcorn Talk on Twitter and youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network.
You can find me on my website, 123jackieb.com. That's where my blog, Twitter, and Instagram are.
And you guys find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, that Zach Wilson, ThatZachWilson. Bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, including Daredevil. We just did the first 2 after shows where we recapped the first 4 episodes of Daredevil over the weekend. So much fun. I can't wait to do the rest of the season. I'm dying to watch more. So stay tuned for more scheduling on that. Guys, until next week, I'm Zach Wilson. Thanks for geeking out with us.
Check.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Good night, sleepyheads. Oh.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.